Okay, so that's a really dark alley down there. Let's test the Vivo X70 Pro Plus's nighttime photography. So I'm not gonna turn on night mode, just point and shoot on my viewfinder. Damn.
Don't sweat the technique.
Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing safe. So this is the Vivo X70 Pro Plus. This is the global version that's releasing in India and parts of Europe pretty soon. I'm gonna do an unboxing here, but I have to be honest, this is not a real unboxing because I actually already opened up the phone days ago and already took a bunch of photos. The camera on this thing is pretty amazing, but I'll get to that very soon. So the reason I wanted to film a proper unboxing is because the packaging here is pretty nice, and that's increasingly rare in this day and age. Because Apple started the trend of minimal smartphone packaging. Like if you get a new iPhone or a new Samsung Galaxy Fold, there's like nothing to unbox. Okay, so the Vivo X70 Pro Plus co-engineered with Zeiss. So this is pretty cool, right? You open up the package and you see the camera module already sticking out through this little cutout. And right here it says photography redefined. So you open up and here's the phone. So in the original packaging, there's a plastic wrap that wraps around the phone. Obviously, this is my second time opening it, so the packaging, that plastic wrap is gone. So here's the phone. I'm gonna put it to the side and let's look at the rest of the package. So you have a pretty nice faux leather case. This is a good touch because the Vivo X70 Pro Plus actually moved away from the leather back of the X60 and X50 series. I mean, I think the orange one is still leather, but I don't know if that one's releasing globally. We have a SIM ejector tool, some papers, warranty and stuff. Right here is a USB-C cable along with this fast charging brick, 66 watt Vivo flash charge. Earbuds, I believe these are probably USB-C. Yep, these are USB-C earbuds. Additional silicone tips for the earbuds, and you also get a dongle adapter, headphone jack to USB-C dongle adapter. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna power up the Vivo X70 Pro Plus and then show you guys the software inside really quick before I continue on with the rest of the real review. I'm gonna take this phone outside, show you guys how camera footage look in the real world and go over hardware, all that. Okay, here's the software. So obviously I've already customized the home screen a little bit. It does not come out of the box looking like this. So this phone runs on FunTouch OS 12.0 over Android 11. Now there's actually elements of Origin OS on this. Origin OS is Vivo's software for the China market, and you can see elements of Origin OS right here in this dynamic music widget. So this is a native widget that came like this out of the box, and it's automatically connected to Spotify because I downloaded Spotify on this phone. So it's pretty cool. So if I want to open up Spotify, I just tap in the widget, I'm gonna play something.
So I don't think you can...
And then you can control your music directly on this widget on the home screen. So you can pause, play, skip 15 seconds, stuff like that. And then if you tap on it, it expands and shows you the information that you're listening to. This is pretty cool. I wish more Android brands would offer this. This is a dynamic interactive widget. And that's kind of how Origin OS looks like. So these widgets, you know, like when Origin OS first came out, a lot of people said it was a copy of an iPhone. And I can see that these widgets here definitely look kind of similar to iOS's widget system. So other than the widgets, which include this widget tray that you can access within the same panel as the app tray, the rest of the software behaves very similarly to an Android phone. So swipe down, you get the shortcut toggles, notifications, swipe up app tray or widget tray. But there's also these very useful shortcut features that Vivo has given us in the past. Like for example, double tap to turn off the screen. You have an always on display. Double tap to turn it back on. 3-finger swipe down to grab a screenshot. 3-finger swipe up to go into easy split screen mode. While we're here, let's go over the rest of the hardware. So this is a 6.8-inch OLED display. 120 Hz refresh rate, 240 Hz touch sampling rate, resolution of 3200 by 1440, so it's more than Quad HD, it's like WQHD plus. There's a Snapdragon 888 Plus inside, and here in this small hole punch is a 32 megapixel selfie camera. Now around the back is this unique textured back. It's made of glass, but with ceramic coating on top. And it feels weird. It feels a little bit frosted. It's soft to the touch, but at the same time, it does not attract fingerprints. But I actually like the feel of the leather back better. So this camera module, at least from what I've seen on the internet, some people like it, some people don't like it, because some people think this area is completely wasted because it's just a piece of glass. There's no lenses here. Although I think it's actually helpful for when you're filming yourself like this, because it's slightly reflective, so you can actually see yourself a little bit. So these two lenses, a 2-main camera, ultra wide main, actually uses the exact same hardware as the Vivo X60 Pro Plus. 48 megapixel ultra wide angle camera that's built on top of gimbal technology. Like you can actually see the camera move a little bit when you shift the phone because it's on this floating gimbal system. It's a Sony IMX598 sensor. And down here, it's a 50 megapixel Samsung GN1 sensor, and it has a relatively large image sensor. So that means you get a lot of natural bokeh when you're just taking still photos, and also imposing a lot of light. Now, if you're disappointed by the fact that these two cameras are exactly the same as last year, well, don't be, because Vivo actually built a new image processing chip called the V1 inside the phone. So the V1, Vivo spent 2 years developing it, and basically what it is a standalone chip that handles ISP, image signal processing. Because you know, digital photography, whatever you shoot, it's all just numbers and data. How it turns into photos and videos is an image signal processor takes in all the information and churn out a visual image. So on most Android phones, they actually just use the ISP inside whatever processor they're using, either a Qualcomm Snapdragon or like a MediaTek chip. So Vivo building his own chip, it's technically impressive because not every company can do it. So this gives Vivo a distinct advantage in being able to customize and control the entire flow of image processing more than previous Vivo devices. And this here is a 12 megapixel 2x telephoto zoom lens. And this is actually a new sensor compared to what was in the Vivo X60 Pro Plus. Okay, and then down here, it's an 8 megapixel periscope camera with 5x optical zoom. This sensor, I believe, it's exactly the same hardware as the Vivo X60 Pro Plus 2. So that means of the 4 cameras here, 2 of them uses the exact same hardware as in the Vivo X60 Pro Plus, but you're still gonna see improvements. Now there's a 4,500 mAh battery in here. Unfortunately, there is still no wireless charging, but you do get IP68 water and dust resistance this time around. So other than wireless charging, that's the only thing that's missing. Everything else is like premium, tip-top, flagship territory. Anyway, enough talking. Let's go outside and test the cameras. Okay, so now you're watching footage from the main camera of the Vivo X70 Pro Plus. Okay, so here's a iPhone 13 Pro main video and the Vivo X70 Pro Plus main video. Let's run. Okay, so I'm on a pretty dark street right now with both phones. This is the main camera footage. Oh, now step by station. So I'm walking. Run back. Okay, so this is one of my favorite buildings to photograph. This is a very unique looking coffee shop. So I'm gonna set this camera down and take some ultra wide angle shots. Okay, so I'm editing the video right now and examining the photos. Every single ultra wide angle image, I prefer the Vivo X70 Pro Pluses. It looks better. The colors pop a little bit more. Dynamic range is better, particularly if you look at any image with undershaded that's a little bit dark on the iPhone photo, it'll actually look not as dark on the Vivo X70 Pro Plus photo. But then you can argue the iPhone's keeping colors a little bit more accurate. And you can argue the iPhone's ultra wide is closer to what the human eye sees. But let's be real here. If you're looking at these two images side by side and you have to post one to Instagram, you're probably gonna pick the Vivo image because it just looks livelier. See right there, in there is the village entrance. I don't think I can go in there because I'm an outsider, I'll probably get yelled at, so I'm gonna use a zoom lens. Okay, so I think for photos, the ultra wide angle camera of the X70 Pro Plus beats the 13 Pro in almost every condition. But when you're shooting the main camera, then it's a lot closer. Like looking at both of these photos and the scene in real life, the iPhone's colors are a little bit more accurate, but then the Vivo shot just looks better. The colors are better, and you look at the natural bokeh behind the light, it looks a little bit more aesthetically pleasing compared to the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which kind of blows out the light a little bit. Nighttime video. Nighttime video. Okay, ultra wide angle video. Okay, ultra wide angle video. So one thing the iPhone does really well, of course, is video recording. When you're filming videos of the iPhone, you can switch from the ultra wide camera to the main camera back and forth, and zooming is very smooth like this. You cannot do this on the Vivo X70 Pro Plus. If you're filming in the ultra wide, you actually cannot zoom in at all. It's locked to the ultra wide. And if you're filming with the main camera, you actually cannot back out to the ultra wide camera. So, okay, now as for battery life, the Vivo X70 Pro Plus has a 4,500 mAh cell inside. Considering that it has a WQHD Plus display with 120 Hz, you would think battery life would be a problem, because I had problematic battery life with the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra and the Honor Magic 3 Pro Plus, all these like latest flagships. But I'm happy to report that Vivo's battery life is pretty good. Right now it is 6:43 p.m. I've been using this phone since around noon, and I still have 68% battery life for now. And yesterday, I used this phone pretty heavily throughout like 11 hours, and I finished an 11-hour day with still almost 30% battery life. So that means the Vivo X70 Pro Plus's battery can be considered really good, and it'll definitely go a full 12, 13 or 14-hour day for most people. I'm really impressed because, okay, so that about wraps it up for this video. Unfortunately, I do not know the official European or Indian retail price of the X70 Pro Plus, but this phone launched in China starting at $870 US. This is the Pro Plus model, $870 US. Now, unfortunately, you guys in Europe are gonna see a markup. So this phone, if I have to guess, I would say in Europe, it's gonna be priced around $1,000 US to $1,100 US. Apologies that I'm giving my estimate in US dollars and not euros, but that's because I grew up in the US, so that number just comes easily to my head. So yeah, overall, I'm very impressed with the Vivo X70 Pro Plus. The cameras seem like right now the best low-light cameras of the year so far. That's actually not that surprising to me, because the Vivo X60 Pro Plus was already arguably the best low-light video camera around, and the X70 Pro Plus improves on that with a custom V1 chip that Vivo built to control the entire pipeline from when the image information entered the camera lens all the way through to the ISP to produce the image that you and I are seeing on the screen. Now, like I said, there's no wireless charging here, but other than that, every other feature that you'd expect or need from a tip-top expensive flagship in 2021 is here. That's about it for this video. I'm gonna have a lot more. I'm probably gonna shoot a vlog with the Vivo X70 Pro Plus compared against the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra and a couple of other Android flagships. So if you're interested in more content on this phone, please consider subscribing to my channel. I have a lot more stuff coming up, so please stay tuned. Thanks for watching.